Hello. Whoops. I almost forgot my microphone. Okay. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. This is Letice again with Coffee with Letice. I am the L in the D&L of D&L Enterprise LLC. I had some questions today regarding the economic stimulus package, and I also had some questions regarding the rebate recovery credit that was on the tax return this year. Okay, so prior to September 2nd of this year, the IRS was actually fixing people's tax returns if they put the wrong number for either one or two or both of the economic stimulus checks that they received. Well, no one wanted to get their bank account, go to their bank, print out their bank account, or even look at their bank statement to see if and when they did receive the economic stimulus payment, which made this year's tax season really interesting. Okay, so it made my life a living hell. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, so as a tax preparer, all I can do is take those numbers that you give me and put them in your tax return. And I have to do my due diligence by asking questions saying, are you sure this is the right amount? Or, you claim that you're head of household, but we have to, you have to prove that you are able to claim the head of household distinction on your tax return. So, prior to September 2nd, the IRS was fixing tax returns and helping people out in that capacity. Well, now, if you filled out your tax return and did not put those economic stimulus amounts on your tax return, you now have to do a 1040X, which is an amended U.S. individual income tax return. And so, the thing about it is, you can file the 1040X electronically, which is something that a lot of people did not know. However, if you just omitted the numbers, you can do the 1040X. If you put incorrect numbers, and this is go on line 30 of the 1040 for 2020 tax season. It says if you entered an amount on line 30 but made a mistake in calculating the amount, the IRS will calculate the correct amount of the 2020 recovery rebate credit and make the correction to your tax return and continue processing your return if a correction is needed. And of course, this will delay your processing time. I mean, after you fill out your tax return electronically, the IRS says please wait 21 days after the tax return was accepted by us. Not that you will get your refund in 21 days. But it won't do you any good to file your tax return electronically on a Monday, then start calling the IRS and everybody else on Tuesday and start yelling at us because we don't know where your refund is. And I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. You file your tax return electronically on a Monday. You wait 21 days after your documents were accepted by the IRS. Now, it could take 2 days, 10 days, 12 days before that tax return is accepted as correct by the IRS, and then they can start processing it. It's not wham bam, thank you ma'am, or blink your eyes and tap your foot a couple of times and then you've got your refund. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. And if you choose to do your tax return snail mail, it could take up to 12 to 16 weeks before your return is processed by the IRS and you receive your refund, if you're going to get one. Now, It's amazing that I'm having these questions come up after October 15th. And if anyone knows what October 15th is the last day to file your tax return if you applied for an extension before April 17th of this year. Because I think April 15th fell on a Saturday. So April 17th of this year. So if you filed an extension prior to that day, then you had until October 15th to file your 1040 for 2020. And so here's another question. I incorrectly calculated the amount of my recovery rebate credit on my return. It says I received a notice indicating I made an error when calculating the 2020 recovery rebate credit on my return. I don't agree with the notice. How do I respond? Well, as of September 2nd of 2021, you don't need to file an amended tax return with the IRS. If you entered an amount on line 30 but made a mistake, the IRS will calculate the correct amount for you, as I said earlier. If you disagree with that, you can call them toll-free on the number listed on the top right corner of your notice. Okay, so let's see. That's a little bit of the same. Alright, so here is a problem. This is a question. I received notice saying that I will not be getting my recovery rebate credit because I was claimed as a dependent on another taxpayer's 2020 return. What do I need to do? First, you might need to file a police report. Maybe not. But okay, it says if you file the 2020 tax return and check the box stating you can be claimed as a dependent by another taxpayer, you do not qualify for the 2020 recovery rebate credit anyway. You do not need to take any action as the notice is informing you that the IRS already adjusted your return and disallowed the 2020 recovery rebate credit and no further action is needed. If you disagree with that, then you can call them with the number that you receive on the notice. And on the notice, the number is listed on the top right corner. And if you agree with the changes that were made, no response is required. Now, let's say you're 29 years old and you've got 2 kids and you're married and you and your husband do your tax return and, well, it bounces back. If you file it electronically, it can bounce back. Well, that might spell trouble. That might mean that someone has stolen your information and that this becomes an identity theft issue, and then you and the IRS are going to need to get that resolved. And there are products out there that can help you with it, but you're still going to have to do a little bit of legwork. Okay, with these products that are supposed to help you with identity theft, you can save about 300 hours of legwork, standing in lines, and being on the telephone, because these are designed to help you alleviate all that time that you're going to waste. Okay, so let's see. Here's another issue. Let's say you file your tax return and you don't get your rebate recovery credit because someone else has used your social security number. Well, they actually have an individual taxpayer identification number, and you're going to have to get with the IRS to apply for that. It's called an I-10. And you're going to have to get with the IRS to apply for that, and so you can use that alternative number instead of your social security number if you've been a victim of identity theft or identity fraud. And if you have kids, you really need to check your tax return to make sure that your children's social security numbers, date of birth, the spelling of their name is accurate before you say, oh, okay. We as tax preparers have to do our due diligence by by showing you the documentation that you gave us, by explaining your tax return to you, and asking you, are these numbers correct? If you say yes, they're correct, we're going to send that to the IRS electronically or snail mail or what have you. And they're going to get it. They're going to see that this number is wrong. And then you're going to get a letter and it's going to bounce back. And then you're going to have some telephone calls to make. You're going to have to make sure that you have the proper documentation and send it to the IRS so they can correct that, and you can get your recovery rebate or whatever tax credits that you can get for your child. And this recovery rebate credit thing ended up causing a lot of headaches for a lot of different people, and I really hope that this coming tax year is a lot better than this past one. And I honestly, truly hope that the federal government and the state governments, if you have a state tax return that you have to do, that they don't make any changes in the middle of tax season. And that brings me to like the unemployment. In the middle of tax season, the IRS or the federal government decided that $10,200 of your unemployment was not taxable. Well, if you had your return done prior to the day that they issued that, well, the IRS was going to go ahead and fix that for you on your tax return. You didn't need to do anything. If you filed after they made the statement, then your tax preparer, their software will account for that amount and take that dollar amount off of your tax return. And then then everything is right, everything is correct, everything's ready to go, and you don't have anything to worry about. And one thing I did get sick and tired of during this past tax season was people saying, well, I'm going to do an amended return. And I'm like, but the IRS says you don't need to do an amended return prior to September 2nd of this year, of 2021, for the rebate recovery credit, and after they made the statement saying that unemployment, $10,200 of unemployment was not taxable. Well, that's all I have for today. And thank you so much for visiting with me today. Thank you for enjoying. I hope that you're enjoying these little videos that I'm doing. And if you are getting some enjoyment from them, please like, comment, and share. And this is Coffee with Latisse signing off, and you have a great night.